Hello everybody, welcome to the July of 2020 check-in for the Joel Helmy Show series, The Monthly Haul. Hey, you there! I want to remind everybody that if you end up liking this video, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. And right now, YouTube says that over 90% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so it would really help, and with that... Hello everybody, I'm Joel Helmy, your guys' host for a July check-in of the Joel Helmy Show series of the Monthly Haul. This is my sweet kitties Megs, aka the secondary host of the Joel Helmy Show. And today's video is of course going to be a monthly haul where I take a look at all the interesting things that I've gotten in the recent month, starting with things from retail stores and then online shopping, as well as a bit of a different interesting piece. I actually have a magazine here, which is something that I don't usually have, but I mention that as a separate piece because I actually don't know where my parents actually ended up getting it because I wasn't there for the purchase. And then I also have some things I actually don't have with me physically here today that are still being shipped to me currently, but I will talk about and I'll probably feature in some way or another in next monthly haul just a little bit. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start with the things that I got from retail stores. So we have, I believe, actually 6 different Hot Wheels here. So we have 2 different iterations of the LA Faster, or La Faster, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, car there. They're actually, these are the 2 top ones that I was just talking about. They're actually sort of like blueprint cars, I'm not really sure, but they have sort of like prints on them that sort of look like blueprints. Meg actually just knocked over a cup. And I got 2 different versions, one actually being white and one being blue. And then I got another edition of the Bone Shaker, which is one that I used to collect back when I actually collected Hot Wheels as a professional hobby. And then a 42 Willys MB Jeep, which is actually quite interesting because you can see that the frame is actually extended with the front axle actually extruding out in front of the grille. But it's also quite interesting because the Willys Jeep actually was used in World War II, which is something that I do like looking into. It's a bit of an interesting part of time. But anyway, there is the first 4, and then here we just have 2 more cars, but they're actually just the same one. I ended up liking the Grudo 24 Hot Wheels car so much that I actually got 2, as I do like the bright colors that this thing actually does have, due to Hot Wheels generally more being a bit more either fantasy or just sort of like darker colors generally, I've noticed within my own experience of collecting. But as I said, I like this car so much that I got 2, and I have one that is actually out of the box and one that is sealed. And this one, as a collector such as myself, it's a bit interesting that this one's actually molded out of plastic rather than die-cast out of metal. But either way, I do really like its bright colors and its whole entire sort of happy vibe that it has. And then moving those out of the way, we have one more thing from a retail store, which is actually a Lego City Set 60214, the Burger Bar Fire Rescue, with 327 pieces. This is one that I reviewed and was actually published on last Friday as a part of last week's set of videos. And of course, it was following the same guidelines that my review videos usually do, starting with the whole entire box overview, unboxing, time-lapse speed build, and whatnot. But anyway, this one does mean quite a bit to me because way back when I was actually in something called the Cub Scouts, or more commonly known as the Boy Scouts, I actually got a Lego set as a prize way back in 2012. That was odd, my computer just did something. But I got that way back in 2012 as a prize for actually selling a certain amount of popcorn, which is something that I used to do. I don't exactly know why, but either way, it's sort of like what Girl Scouts do, selling the Girl Scout cookies out in front of stores. And I got a 2012, or a very early iteration of the fire engine in the Lego City Fire set, and I do still have it as a complete piece somewhere in my room. I don't know where it's packed away somewhere in a box from my old Lego room. But either way, when I do set up a Lego City, I would really like to set them up next to each other due to one being from last decade, oddly enough. It's a bit odd to be able to say that now. But anyway, moving that out of the way, looks like Meg is actually stepping on my keyboard. But anyway, let's go ahead and now take a look at the last 2 pieces that I actually have here with me, with Meg's foot actually being on this one. This is the sort of a Bachmann DCC model Roadrunner magazine. So nothing too awfully interesting. There's a lot of information in here on how to set up a layout and generally just work around DCC as well. There's some nice pictures of actually some brass models in here, I believe, if I can actually get to it. there are actually some pictures of some brass models there, very nice pieces there, and then there's some pictures of some DCC decoders there. Pretty interesting stuff if you're looking into actually doing a bunch of that. But either way, this is actually a magazine that my stepfather and my mom actually got for me, so whenever I do decide to actually set up a layout, this would probably be a little bit helpful if I do decide to go through it. But of course, me growing up in the early, or actually the more mid-2000s, my intake of knowledge is more generally through online as well, rather than actually books and stuff like this, oddly enough, which is a bit odd to say. But anyway, moving that out of the way, we have our one piece of online shopping that I actually have with me. This is a Chip Fleek face mask, so of course I'll go ahead and demonstrate by putting it on. So this apparently I don't know how to put a face mask on. So this one is supposed to sort of iterate that you have the whole entire print going on, so you're smiling all the time with the Chip Flake sort of actual face on. And this one is quite nice because I really do like supporting Chip Flake. He's an absolutely amazing creator here on YouTube. For those of you that don't know, he's a animator here on YouTube, and this one is quite nice. That I always thought that it's sort of like with the smile, it's hiding the depression that everybody's hiding in this desperate time of need. But anyway, really nice piece there that I actually got last month, but came in early this month, so I featured it in this episode rather than last, because my mom actually got this one for me as a surprise, I guess, so I didn't know about it until not too long ago. But either way, moving that out of the way, I want to quickly talk about the things that I don't actually have here with me currently. So the first thing is actually I got a new desk and a new chair. Both of them are still currently either being in the process of actually getting pieces for to be able to set up, or being shipped to me via online. So I actually got a new chair, as I just said. It's actually more modern looking. It's actually white rather than the brown chair that I've had for quite a long time, which is actually, for those of you that pay attention, it's falling apart now. But it's a white, more modern looking desk chair that actually has some chrome detailings. It's not nearly as, well, I guess not so modern looking. I don't really, in my head it looks more modern to me, but this one I don't really know what discriminates it as not modern. But either way, I got a new chair and then a new desk, as I said, just with a simple IKEA tabletop and some IKEA sort of legs. And as I said, we actually are still looking for the legs due to there's actually a low supply in the US currently, so I was still looking for those. And then I actually decided to go out and get a new subwoofer set as well, for just a new general set of speakers, because I've actually had my current set of speakers for quite a couple years now, and due to me just using them for so long, they've actually just cruded out, so I needed a new set. So went out and got those as well. And then the last thing is actually I went out and got a Katzune limited edition plushie, which for those of you that don't know, Katzune is a animator here on YouTube, sort of similar to that of Chip Flake. But I decided to get the plushie because, like this actual shirt that I'm wearing, it was actually a limited edition thing. I believe it's actually still for sale. I'm not really sure, but I mentioned that because I know this shirt is actually not for sale anymore. But either way, I'm not sure if the camera can see it, but I will be putting it next to my actual Odd Ones Out and the Young Tales tofu plushie there, just to have the whole entire sort of a small bunch of YouTuber plushies. But either way, with all that being said, I do apologize for not having nearly as much interesting stuff as I did last episode. But with all that being said, if you guys enjoyed today's video,